Hello and welcome back to Selenium tutorial. Last time we have learned about Selenium annotations and Selenium helper attributes for annotations as well. Last time we have so let's recap that what we have learned so far. Last time we have discussed about TestNG annotation attributes and we have seen description priority enabled and their demonstration as well. So in my last demonstration, I have demonstrated that how we can use priority and what priority actually plays the role in execution of the program. So in our home page, Mercury home page, we have validated the home page title and the login test. uh, so we can say that the file in which we have both tests, let me show you the page. This is the Mercury towards home page, and in which we have validated that what is the title of the page, that is welcome Mercury towards, and then we have login in the application and validate that if the user is login or not. Now I would like to proceed with the register. So for register, I have to navigate to the registration page and then enter all these information. But prior to that, I have to also validate that whether user is on register page or not. So for this, I have to write uh, another test, but this time I will try to arrange those tests under different pages, so, different Java classes. So my first Java class is first TestNG test. I will try, rename this file with name home page tests. I have refactor this, and now you can see that this test is renamed with home page test. Now I will create another Java file with name uh, registration page tests. It is asking me to add this registration page test. Now I have added here under Java package. Now I have to navigate to this page. So let's copy paste this section from here in the registration page. So what it will do that it will navigate to this URL, right? And then we have to write the test at the rate test, and the test is about description to validate registration, and it is also complaining me about adding this annotations test. I have pressed Alt Enter, and now I have to add those curly braces, not curly braces. I have to create a test public void validate uh, user registration, and in user registration what I need to do, once application navigated to this home page URL, I have to click on this register URL. So for this I have to identify web element. uh, okay, I have to add this, import this class web element, and then I have to click on register link and driver dot find element by dot by dot x path. Now let's click on F12, and on this register I have to copy X path, okay, and then place this here, and then I have to click on this link. So register link dot click. Let's run this program, run validate user registration. Let's see if it works. So it has launched the browser, navigate to the home page, and then I'm expecting it will click on register. Yes, it has click on registered. Now I have to validate whether this application navigated to this page or not. So I have to actually validate that application is on the registration page. I have to verify the page title. In order to verify page title, I have to take the title of the page, register page title driver dot get title. So it will store page title in the register page title. Now I have to actually verify if this register page title uh, basically matches with the expected page title or not. I have to create another variable, another string variable, expected page title equals to, I have to navigate to this page, and then I have to check F12 and control F title. So here is the title, register Mercury Tours. Here it is. Now I have to validate assert dot assert equals register page title equals to expected page title. So let's proceed with our run. Okay, so this test is passed. Basically, I haven't include the after test method, so I have to include this one as well, so that browser should close every time when this test runs. After test, registration page test. And one more thing which I would also like to add is that this is basically not the validated registration page, although it's a another test which is basically a priority is equal to 1 comma description is equal to validate registration page title. Okay, and I have to create a method public void validate registration page title, and in which I have to validate this. Okay, so now we are good to go. Registration page title, and then we need to make priority is equal to 2. Okay, to validate registration page, in order to validate the registration page, what we need to do, we need to actually insert or fill the form, right? For this, let me close this browser, and we have to go here. And in the registration page, I have to fill this form, first name. So in order to locate this first name, what I have to write the code web element uh, first name text box equals to driver dot find element by dot name first name, and in first name text box I have to send keys and pass the value uh, test user, right? And then in last name web element last name text box is equal to driver dot find element by dot name, and the last name field name is last name, and last name text box send keys test user last name test user first name, and then we have phone number web element phone equals driver dot find element by dot name, phone. Okay, we are basically following one good practice that we are providing text box phone text box dot send keys. So we can write any telephone name, a telephone number, web element. Now we have email. So for email we have username, uh, username web element email text box equal to driver dot find element by dot name username, and email text box dot send keys. So username is test user at testuser.com. We have address web element address text box equals to driver dot find element by dot name. It's address 1, and address text box dot send keys is address 1. Now we have to send city text box equals driver dot find element by dot name, its name is city. City text box dot send keys. Uh, City is Alabama. Web element province, state or province text box equals to driver dot find element by dot name. State text box and keys, California, and then we have postal code, web element, postal code text box equals to driver dot find element by dot name. Postal code name is postal code. Postal code that send keys 1 2 3 4 5, and then we have country select or drop down. So for this we cannot use a simple web element and identify. We have to use a select um, for this locator for drop down. So we use select and okay, it's complaining that we have to import the class. I will click alt enter. So it now it stops complaining. Country drop down equals to new select. This is the syntax is changed. For drop down we have to use select and then name of the web element and then new select, and under this we have to use driver dot find element and by dot name. We have to identify this. So its name is country, and for drop down we have multiple methods like we can select by value, select by value, or select by ID or something like that. So I am going with select by value, and the value which I will pass on, let's select any good country, Aruba. Okay, Aruba. Okay, and then we have username. So we have, and it's a text box. So we have to write username. I remember that we already, so its name is email, right? So web element username equals through driver dot find element by dot name. Oh, I have to copy this email and paste it here, right? And in username dot send keys, usually Email address is username. So I will write, I can pass the same email test@test here as well. So I have used the email address this test@usertest.com, right? And for password, uh, web element password text box. Okay, let me use this text box here as well. And username text box and password text box is equal to driver dot find element and by dot name. Okay, let me take uh, pause the recording for Azan break. Welcome back to where we were last time. Password text box by dot name. Um, so for by dot name, name is password. Password text box dot send keys 12345 6, and same goes for confirm password. Let's see what is confirm password. Confirm password field name is confirm password, so we need to write code for web element confirm password text box equals driver dot find element by dot name. uh, its name is confirm password, right? And we have to pass send keys 12345 6, and then we have to click on submit button. So for this web element submit button equals to driver dot find element by dot name. Type is submit, name is submit, submit button dot click. So we are now good. So let me run this program, uh, validate user registration, and see that how it works. So I have run the program. It has launched the browser. It will okay. I got it. Since we haven't clicked on the registration page, we have to click on this registration page. So that's the reason we run our program every time. Okay, and now run this program again. So now it will click on the register page. Okay, fill all the information, submit, and now you can see validate registration program has run. Now there is one more thing. We have to validate whether we actually navigated to the success page, right? So for this we have to write some piece of code web element register success message equals, so let me enter some data here. Test, 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 test at test.com, test, 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 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then submit button. And now we have dear test, test comma. So we can actually verify if this dear test is written or not, right? So for this, what I can do, uh, uh, I can actually validate if this register text is here or this dear test is written is here or not. So for this, I have to inspect this dear. No thanks. Okay, never. So this is the we have to copy XPath driver dot find element by dot XPath, and the expected success message equals to their test comma, their test comma. Okay, and then we have to assert dot assert equals register success message comma expected success message. Okay, let's run this program again. Okay, um, okay. So basically, it fails to determine this text, right? So we have to check that. Wow. Okay. So what happened? Basically, we have determined the locator, but not the text. So what we need to do? We have to register success message text equals to, I have to convert this web element into text, so I have to write this registered success message dot get text, and then it will validate, and I have to put this here, right? Let's see how it works. Okay, okay. So their test user first name, test user last name. So this is our this should be our uh, expected text. Okay, because we are passing test user first name and test user last name. Okay, so this time it will run fine. Okay, let me tell you one thing that in actual whenever we create a registration page, we cannot pass same values again and again. So for this, what we need to do, we have to create some test data. And for test data, okay, this part is basically navigate to the register page, and what test data we required, we basically required first name, and this time we don't want to hard code the value. We would like to generate random data every time in first name, last name, and uh, uh, email address and password, so that we can utilize those random text in our test, right? So for this, we have some special functions. For this, we need to add libraries against those, right? So uh, random string utils dot, okay, I have to actually add this library. Okay, add Maven dependency. For this, I have to navigate to the Maven repository, Maven repository, and in Maven repository, I have to find this. So I am trying to find the jar which I have to use for using random string utils. So I was looking for Apache library which I need to use in my project. So I have to use this 3.2.1 dependency add in my project. So I have to add the dependency here. Uh, Update this one, and in registration page, string utils, alt enter. So for utilizing random string utils, I have to import this cla this in my program, and then I have to write dot random alphabet, and I would like to generate 8 characters for this random. Same for last name, random string utils dot random alphabets 8, uh, string phone equals to uh, random dot random string utils dot random integer, uh, say h, and string email equals to uh, uh, first name plus concatenate abc.com and string city equals to city can be hard coded. Uh, we can utilize Alabama string state equals to California, and then after state postal code string postal code equals to 123456 string after postal code we have country is fine, username, so username is basically email, so we can utilize email and for username, and then for password we can use string password equals to random string utils dot random and 8 characters. Okay, so let's use these as parameter. uh, Here replace this with first name, and in last name replace with last name, and phone with this phone. Email text box with this email, address one is fine. Okay, city with city, and with state with this state. So we are parameterizing our test here. For postal code we have postal code here, and for username password, okay, for password we also have generated this for password. Okay, one more thing which you can see since we have used this expected text message. So this time we have to be very careful, and we have to use expected username, right? So in order to create this dynamic, what we need to do, first name plus we need to space, and then we have to use last name, and we have to concatenate comma. Here is comma, first name space last name comma. Okay, let's see how it proceeds. So let me run this program. So it navigated to the registration page, and white fields. Okay, name comma phone session ID. Okay, for phone number we have used as random, so we have to use dot random alphabetic, or we can use one more thing. We can hard code this phone number like it was previously, 021 comma 212 right? Okay, let's see. So it has generated random values. Okay, this time our test. Okay, dear, expected is this. So we have to write dear and provide some spaces. Okay, so we have to write dear space, and we also have to provide a space here, right? And now see. Okay, this time test is passed, and now we have seen that we have written one test in which we have used priority description and validate user registration. So there are two tests in the registration page, there are two tests on home page. So thank you for watching, take care.